28 июня 2021 года 20 часов 11 минут 03 секунды. Найдена трансляция, подключаемся к чату.
Health activated. No reload activated. Dynamite activated. Time activated. Score activated. Skill activated. Combo activated. Experience activated. No reload deactivated.
КРСАФ и подчеркивание UZ подчеркивание BR на LA. Тут есть кто-нибудь?
Где телефон?
Робин Гуд.
На кухне?
Робин Гуд. Перезвони мне на Лугаком после стрима.
Привет, привет. Всем привет, всех приветствую, всем. Спасибо, кто дождался. Нам продолжаем доиграть в игру под названием Juarez. И не продолжаем. Так, подожди. Продолжаем. Сейчас я запущу сюда. Можно, если вы не против. Что-то не я. Блин. Да, кажется, есть барная. Избранная. Естественно, да, есть. Сейчас я это быстро перезапущусь. Если не буду запускать. А именно. Чтоб с ними не кинулся. Не. Да, все нормально. Если вперед, не будем сейчас быстро. Так, да, кажется. Почему? Потому что это сейчас опустится, а тогда уже все остальное, кажется. Так. Без меня система. Если вообще я выживу после стрима, друг мой. Если еще выживу. Такие вопросы хорошо задаешь. После стрима. Ну ты, друг мой, даешь. Ага, все нормально. Сейчас у вас черный экран будет на пару секундочек. Раз, два, три, быстро не сейчас. Если не против, я сейчас запущусь и пару секундочек, потому что меня втекли, ребята. Сейчас я отгружается. Он отгружается, и сейчас приду.
I knew I needed resources if I was going to track down Roscoe Bob Bryant. And hunting Plumber looked like a good way to get rich quick. As the local vigilantes exposed him as the leader of the bandits.
Тут, а вы помните, ребята, мы в прошлой серии бесчестно убили одного из бандитских ребят, бесчестно, били ему, звали, честно, не скажу, что я честно не помню уже его имя, давно уже было, сейчас. Вот. Так, сейчас, секундочку, ребят. Сейчас. Если вы, ребят, вроде все. Есть такое я. Тут бесконечный. Так, эффект концентрации, то есть четверка.
Dynamite activated.
5.
Focus D. Score activated. Time activated. Skill combo activated. Experience activated.
Все. Остальное не надо.
And put a generous price on his head. Plumber rallied his gang to plunder one last gold mine before making their escape. And that's where I thought I'd find him.
И продолжаем играть, продолжаем тут бесчинствовать по своим законам. Идите путь шахту. Ну пошлите, бежали. Ага, вас не стоять. Тихо, тихо, не быстро. Тормози, мать твою.
It makes me nervous standing so close to all these goddamn barrels of gunpowder.
Why would you be nervous? No one has the components to come after us. As long as you don't light up a cigar, we're fine.
As my late father pointed out to me more than once, God made men, but Samuel Colt made them equal.
You're dead.
Лежать.
I knew that dynamite wasn't mine, so I decided the polite thing would be to return it. It was the biggest gold rush since Sutter's Mill in '48. Unfortunately, prospectors weren't the only ones drawn to those riches.
Ах ты ж панна! Сука.
There were thieves, killers, robbing travelers, and hijacking gold shipments. Like those that ran with Plummer. Some were just regular folks I knew from town, drawn by greed and easy pickings.
Так, пошли дальше.
Charlie Crow, the blacksmith.
Put that moron out.
James, who worked in the stable.
God damn you!
Sam and Jeremiah Barber, the butcher's son. Ordinary citizens who lived a double life,
No.
stealing and thieving and murdering their neighbors. Of course, the rest were veterans of the Civil War.
Ух ты ж
Stone
панна!
cold killers trained on the bloody fields of Shiloh and Antietam. Dangerous, desperate individual. Plummer had a lot of men on his payroll.
Boom!
A hell of a lot. That son of a bitch pretended to protect the public with one hand while stealing them blind with the other. He set up a defensive perimeter which I had no idea how to break. I was outnumbered and in way over my head, but I was too damn stubborn and stupid to realize it.
Нахер, расстрелянное
They
место.
must have thought I was touched. Or had some kind of death wish. Seeing as there were barrels of gunpowder everywhere.
Watch out for the goddamn gunpowder!
What the fuck,
One stray
motherfucker?
bullet, one stray spark, and I'd be blown to hell and gone. Did I have any second thoughts about what I was
No.
doing?
Сдохни.
I thought I was some kind of hero.
Так, а ну-ка.
No reload activated.
Сейчас.
No reload deactivated. No reload activated. No reload deactivated.
Так, фокус надеюсь, берем.
Focus deactivated.
Ага,
Combo deactivated.
все.
I finally made
Фокус ставлю. Вот так.
Focus deactivated.
А.
Focus deactivated. Focus deactivated.
But first, I had something I needed to figure out. I had a few ideas on how to get into that mine, but once I made my decision, I knew there was no turning back. So my first thought was to enter the nearest mine portal. I saw an entrance. Made sense. It was the quickest way in, but that also made it more dangerous, as there would undoubtedly be enemy pickets posted along the way.
Пошло все же в отряды. Здесь. Ух ты. Не. Не будем, наверное, менять. То есть дробовик можно изменить. А тут винтовка, наверное. Не. А ну-ка.
Besides, once you enter a mine like that, it's easy to get all turned around. And that confusing maze of corridors wouldn't even be the worst of it. Some of those shafts could be as deep as hell.
Nobody can do that!
A single stumble or misstep can easily end in a deadly plunge to oblivion.
You ain't thieving me.
Больно.
Health activated. Health deactivated. Health activated.
Some of those shafts could be as deep as hell.
It's you or me.
A single stumble or misstep can easily end in a deadly plunge to oblivion.
Ага, лестницу вижу. Сейчас ее доведем лестницу. Ага, вижу. Полезли. Не должны выйти. Можно сменить винтовку снова, а? Да. Если бы ты больше кухней бы сменили винтовку. Ну, сейчас винтовочка что-то больше нравится, чем... Дробаш тоже хорош. Ну, ближней дистанции, но винтовка дает ближней, средней дистанции хорошо бьет. Выстрел, не выстрел, да и вон трубак. Так что для нас она более выгодна. Так что у нас чисто пусто. Да, чисто пусто. Да неужто я вышел, да? Да. Ха-ха-ха-ха. Я вышел, такие обратные, да. Ладно, пошлите обратно. Потому что это не делаю, что не исполнил. Вот здесь можно сменить револьверы, но не хочу я их менять, мне не знаю, ты хорошо идут. Закачал, что пошли сюда. Так. А, мы сюда и вышли, круг ряда, да? Опа. Наверх пришли. Да, мы... Ой. Да что,
Quick reflexes often make up for a lack of common sense. Luckily, I was never one to be easily bushwhacked. I would just need to be careful not to blow myself to kingdom come. With all that gunpowder and dynamite everywhere, the body has to know what he's shooting at.
Один попадание и все нахрен. Ну же опасный идиот. Нахрен. Ой, классно пригвоздил, пошел. Опасно здесь, конечно. Если блядь рванет,
One wrong bullet could have turned that mine into a dad-blasted tune.
Нахер. Сходим. Идиот, блин. Не понял. А что не бежал? Если бы это сети тут было.
I freely admit that my plan of attack was not just moronic, but clearly insane.
Живи хоть. Да вроде живые. Ой!
It's a good thing that I abandoned that ridiculous plan before I even tried it. Instead, I spotted a ladder, a way into the mine from the opposite side. It was a long way around, but that approach seemed more sensible at the time. Of course, being I had a problem with heights, that scaffolding scared the bejesus out of me. Climbing down that ladder required some caution. Because even though I had a younger man's reflexes, no man can dodge a damn bullet while climbing down a rickety ladder. I needed to make a leap of faith, which ain't easy when you're suspended between heaven and hell.
Вот лестница, да? А наша куда? Прыгаешь, что ли? Я ж не спрыгну. Уже не знаешь, не знаю. Ну, забавно. Угу. Видел меня разбавлен. подниматься. Блин. Shift брать и... Да, получается, shift берем.
I was determined not to give up. As Sheriff Plummer seemed quite the despicable character. When the vigilantes discovered what the sheriff was up to, people were outraged. That 10,000 they put on his head would go a long way to helping me find old Bob. And I have made it my mission to settle that score come hell or high water. But first, I would have to make a choice. Take the elevator or climb the ladder.
Либо лестница, либо лифтом. Ну, выше на лестницу. Нет, либо-либо. Тут сейчас вариант проиграем. Либо лестница, либо...
I wanted to use the element of surprise. Plus, I figured I could use the exercise. I was warmed up already, so what the hell?
Правильно. А это что-то... Привет, друзья. И... Пока.
Plummer was a mad dog killer, and the people of Nevada City deserved better.
Nevada City? Well, I thought Plummer met his maker in Bannock, Montana.
Right, well, he was the sheriff of both places at one time or another, but that's neither here nor there. The point was, taking him down would save a lot of lives, including my own.
Надо. Это не надо. А, во. Четыре. Ага, еще. Я понял. Манит. Антидемник раны. Ну, давно играли там уже в них.
Henry Plummer was clearly unhinged, and I could see right away that this was going to take some time.
You can throw dynamite! Bastard! I'm going all medieval on your ass! I got a lot more dynamite than you! This cocksucker is smarter than he was, boys! Take this cocksucker out!
Видишь, башка блин.
I can shoot too!
So that's how Henry Plummer died. Him and his crew were worth their weight in gold. And now, I was officially a bounty hunter.
Продолжить. Заграденный домик.
So, did you finally go after that Bob feller?
Well, I heard word he was in Kansas with John Wesley Hardin. So that's where I went.
Where in Kansas?
Abilene. Why do you ask, Ben?
No reason.
Was Hardin as fast as Ringo?
Ringo was fast, but John Wesley was as fast as the devil himself.
Дженни Весли Хардин. 104.
Hell, he killed his first man at 15. From that day forward, he had a price on his head and wouldn't back down for nobody, not even Wild Bill Hickok himself.
Выстрелили мертвые. Сауцу держать своим самоохранителем, чтобы заработать деньги для преследования своей последней цели — раскоби Боба. Поехали.
I dodged death many a time, and that night in Abilene was no different. I was there with the intention of finding that bastard Bob and collecting the bounty on John Wesley.
Ох, вас тут сколько есть возникли, раз я тут много фактур.
That's what they want you to believe.
Так, блядь, не вижу.
Hold still!
Вижу.
It was cold in a witch's tit and a brass bra that night as I fought my way past his loyal compadres to the very same saloon we're sitting in today. Look around and imagine this place painted in blood. Hardin was waiting for me, and
Что, мне и...
wait, I'm jumping the gun here. Let me back up and give you some background on this sumbitch.
Конечно.
He deserves that much. Don't you think so, Ben? John Wesley Hardin was a killer. By the end, he confessed to taking the lives of 42 men. Fathers and husbands, brothers and sons, men with families who cared about them. He was a bona fide folk hero by then, and had amassed a gang of armed miscreants and other assorted thugs. He and his men set up camp outside of town, and I was hoping Bob was among them.
Shit, it's cold out here. Freezing my giblets off.
Ain't right, we gotta stay out here keeping watch like this.
Ain't nobody stupid enough to go after Hardin anyway.
Better 3 hours early than a minute too late.
Shoot that son of a bitch!
They didn't ask why I was there. They knew. As most of them were wanted as well. I figured Hardin was here somewhere, but to get to him, I'd have to get past his gun hands. I had to spill a lot of blood to find out Hardin wasn't in that camp. He was carousing in town with his closest friends. Hardin's boys apparently didn't want me to reach the Bull's Head. Some were hightailing it into town to inform their jefe of my unwelcomed presence.
Так, я немного пару секундочек отвлекусь. Хорошо, ребят. Не скучайте, я сейчас пару минут всего лишь. Продолжаем. Прошу прощения за задержку. В основном батя кое-что помочь нам было. Ой, уже не живой.
Stop that son bitch!
Let the boys know we got another law dog. That's right. Run!
Привет. Привет. Так, ну уже дизайн поставил. Не, я шуткую, конечно. Ставьте лайки. Я буду понимать. Ну, мне это... Лайк, дизлайк, без разницы, ребят. Ну, тыкайте, не кредиты, а не нужно.
And I steeled myself for the fight ahead.
Спасибо,
For as
что
good as I
заходите. Спасибо,
was,
что ставите лайки,
deep down I
поддержите
wondered
меня.
if John Wesley wasn't just a little bit better.
Бог с ним, лайк, дизлайк. Я, кстати, не там... Я с этим, как говорится, не этого... Главное, что ставьте это. Ставьте что-нибудь. Не важно. Спасибо, друг мой, что зашел. Спасибо, друг мой. Так, не обижайтесь,
Before I could test my mettle against Hardin,
не стал
however,
уже, да.
I would first need to dispatch his cadre of hired killers.
Ох ты, складно.
Most of these degenerates were beyond redemption, but John Wesley might have been a different story. I didn't learn until later that that night was in fact his birthday celebration. I think I already mentioned that I found Hardin in this very
Чай не
saloon.
держать, потому что... Ой. Это динамит где-то забахнул в стороне.
Suffice it to say, nobody there was happy to see me. In fact, I felt a certain hostility.
Кто где, блин? Знаете, где?
I was disappointed that neither Bob nor John Wesley were among the dead. But that was short-lived, as a moment later I was facing down the fastest gun in the West.
Сейчас, секундочку, ничто. А, что-то видел, все ясно. Я не что-то видел, секундочку, сейчас. Ну, в стене и... Хоть ты посидишь на стене. Нет, ну серьезно, ну ты уже дизайн поставили. Конечно, не снюсь, но мне же интересно стало. Я университет, походу. Угу. Ай, блин. Другое. Это жарко, пиздец.
HTTP
водочку
сервер
тогда
успешно
носил.
запущен на порту 49135.
Я даже на все это идет, но все равно. Но все равно. Блин. Она его предохотка. Ой, ладно, стрим. Сейчас я веду его. Сейчас. А, у меня что-то еще супер стоит. Понятно.
28 июня 2021 года 21 час 12 минут 50 секунд. Найдена трансляция, подключаемся к чату. Успешное подключение к YouTube каналу Corsair Juarez.
Чат, запишите с вашего позвонения. Так, разместился так.
Да, тут все я...
Давайте, не. Я сейчас хочу спросить, посмотрите, что мне ничего не выдает. Покажите, типа, что час есть, типа, да? Чё я мучаюсь? Да. Чё я... А, ну-ка, сейчас. Сейчас быстро. То есть, сквозь студию кручу, я, наверное, сейчас чат, наверное, нахер вырублю. Не, показывайте этот чат, но я не думаю, что... Надо, как бы, все окна. Так. Опера Студиос Кубита. Давай тут сейчас я скажу. Ага. Примеры фильма, точнее. Смотрите, вот. Следу я, да не знаю, что у меня будет еще за стрим. Так, ну что-то, ага, так. Так, раз. Чатик быстро перезагружу вам, ребят, если вы не прочь. Ну-ка. Отлично. Сейчас мы что-то повесили, да. Поехали. Первый 15 лет. Эти казахов. То, что дышали.
I felt a bolt of adrenaline. Or maybe that was fear.
Ух ты!
He was well known for his tricks, and I knew I'd need my own if I was ever to defeat him.
Ва. Стой. Стой. Ксюху. Нет. Это выбора. Ребят, все равно бойтесь, что распереживался за сеструху. Это нормально. Батя.
That man was faster than greased lightning. But being inebriated as he was, he didn't count his shots. And now, he was at my mercy.
So he didn't die?
No, I sent him to prison. Years later, after he was free, some restless avenger took his life. Shot him in the back in a saloon just like this one. Anybody up for another beer? Ben?
Пью, немало это, компот пью, немало это, пиздец, жарко.
Thank you, darling. Yeah, some say revenge is a dish best served cold.
So whatever happened to that Bob guy you were after?
Personally, I'd like to hear some of your other adventures. Like, I don't know, did you ever go toe-to-toe with a red man?
Серый Wolf. 105-й.
Yes, I did, Ben. I remember once I was after this renegade Apache, Grey Wolf. Strangely enough, revenge was also his primary motivation. A bounty was put on Grey Wolf's head, and that's how I came to hunt him in the mountains. Mountains so high they tickled the nether regions of heaven. Grey Wolf was a Chiricahua Apache medicine man who had led a war party in revenge for a massacre against his people. The U.S. Army had attacked his tribe during his daughter's secret sunrise ceremony, and the slaughter was unspeakable. I understood his anger, as there's nothing more traumatic than seeing those you love die in a cruel and painful death.
Я ее прошел, это, ну, не на стриме, я некоторые моменты помню. Ну так, помню смутно, конечно.
Right from the beginning, I couldn't shake the feeling that Grey Wolf was watching my every move. He led a band of young Apache warriors who wanted retribution and were more than willing to die for him.
Все вместе мне. Все мы вместе. Okay. Так, ну что, пошли узнаем, что там. Ага, миросердно. Миросердно. Интересно. Я никого не вижу, ну, тишина такая. Ну, и врагов не вижу, тишина такая, когда... Подожди, тишина. Шеи. Ревьеры. Чего-то не нужны.
They saw me before I saw them. And it crossed my mind that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But now that the shooting had started, there was no backing down.
Куда?
It was rugged country, the winter home of the Chiricahuas, and that's why they had retreated there.
Следующий.
I admit to having some regrets about going after them the way I did. But then again, I got a lot of those.
Ай. Ужас. Только брат. Здесь не есть. Ага. Нет, интересно. Ах ты, парни. Блин, не может, блин. Их никогда не нужно нет. Нема. Да.
Did you find Grey Wolf?
Not at that moment, but I did find the entrance to their hideout. A deep crevice that led to a deeper cave.
Don't tell me you went in there.
Yeah, but it's not out of bravery so much as pure, angry cussedness.
Если девки пляшут. Ну-ка, 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 ну-ка. Ага.
See, back then, I had a stubborn streak a mile wide, and I wasn't about to back down.
So it was like pitch black in there?
Actually, it was pretty well lit, as they had torches on the walls.
Чего?
Папа, чей это телефон? Папа, кто это телефон?
Потом собирается, мне нравится. Поехали дальше.
How big was his cave?
Big as hell, Ben. Chiricahua had hid out there during the Indian War.
Не расправляю.
They thought it was haunted with the ghosts of those murdered by the horse soldiers.
The cave was haunted with dead Indian ghosts?
Так, да, я не успел.
To be honest, I was more concerned with the live ones than the dead ones.
Не успел, да? А мне жизни не бросили. Силы нет. Ух ты, сразу. Не успел вывести. Ах ты зараза, кинул мне в ответку, сучка. Да и... Вот, мать.
How come you know so much about engines?
A few years back, I was married to two Mescalero women.
At the same time?
Yeah, they were sisters. Polygyny is traditional among the Mescalero.
So what happened?
Oh, I had to get out of there. Those girls never shut up. Both of them nagging at me all the time. Drove me half crazy. Haven't seen them since.
No, I mean, what happened with Grey Wolf?
Oh, well, I pursued him into the Cave of Death.
Интересно.
I came upon this flooded grotto, and that's when I saw him. He came to me unarmed and unafraid. His voice echoed in the shadows, and I sensed he meant me no harm.
You carry great darkness in your heart, and if you do not release it, it will claim your soul.
The sound of his voice put some kind of ancient Indian spell on me. As his story unfolded in my mind,
You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. The soul would have no rainbow. I have no tears.
he said I was a great warrior, a coyote man, unequaled by any other pale-faced warrior, or something like that.
The snakes will bite shadows of your past until a venom poisons your heart, and an echo of the song of the dead summons the spirits deep from within the mountains.
I didn't quite get what he was saying, but there were definitely snakes. And indeed, his warriors surrounded me and attacked me like hungry wolverines. They couldn't stop me, though, and Grey Wolf wasn't in the mood for idle talk.
I think that's интересно.
I swear I couldn't see any way out of this trap. But suddenly, one just appeared. Kind of like a miracle. I felt like I would be lost in that damn cave forever.
Идем полетели это. Мне кажется, видно.
Finally, I found myself back outside, perched on the edge of a precipice, overlooking a thundering whitewater river. To get where I was going required several leaps of faith, but no way in hell I was turning back.
Ах ты шара. Теперь разбираться и прыгнуть.
I chased after him, determined to make him explain the meaning of all that mumbo-jumbo.
Mumbo-jumbo's right. Are you making this all up as you go?
A few details may be fuzzy, brother, but I am relating exactly what happened to me.
Стоять. Так, плохо. Угу.
There were dozens of Apache warriors aiming at me from on high.
Dozens.
Well, maybe not dozens, but there was a lot of...
At least 3 or 4.
Well, more than that, little lady.
Блин. Смотри. Здесь воздух у меня.
Steep climb up creek ahead of me and scrambled up those rocks like a mountain goat. I was determined to locate Grey Wolf and find out exactly what the hell he was trying to tell me.
Так, ты видишь, у нас тут... Ты в город умеешь, у него такие запасные парни.
And wouldn't you know it, that crafty son of a bitch led me right into a trap.
What kind of trap?
Well, son, there had to be at least 100 Apaches around.
100?
God be my witness.
Oh, come on. Who you kidding?
Hey, I believe you. Come on, tell us how it ended.
All right, but I'm not gonna drag this out. Where were we?
You were surrounded by 100 Apache warriors.
Well, I didn't take the time to count them exactly, but there were a lot of them.
Просто, ну, гений вообще. А он... Я бы ему больше броня. А, о. Всё. Ага.
And in the end, a path appeared before me that I had not seen before. I followed it as I desperately needed to find out what Grey Wolf was trying to tell me. But it was like that son of a bitch disappeared into thin air. Never did find him. And never did collect my goddamn bounty. Thank you, darling. It's interesting how the truth can sometimes seem might malleable, depending upon your point of view.
Like how those dime novels make you out to be something you're not?
Jack, don't be starting trouble.
No, he's right. They do tend to exaggerate.
Did they exaggerate your part in taking down the Daltons?
Well, I was there in the flesh, boy, so I saw what happened firsthand.
Not bad. Not bad.
Those Daltons were lawmen once, before they all went bad, robbing banks and trains clear across the territory. Until Coffeeville, of course. I was one of the citizens who took up arms that day.
Fighting on the side of the right?
I did my best, sir. We all did. It was early morning. One of my friends was a local gunsmith, and he handed out firearms to anybody who'd take one. You see, the Daltons got it in their heads to rob 2 banks at the same time. 2 banks on the same damn street. Story was Bob Dalton's girl was always riding him about how he had no ambition. Oh, you're nobody next to Jesse James, she'd say. Finally, the bastard took his brothers to Coffeeville just to shut her up.
Right. It's always the woman's fault.
Well, the locals recognized the Daltons right off. Before they could get away, half the town took up arms to defend their property. Their first mistake was pulling a job in their own damn hometown. The brothers paid dearly for their stupidity, but everybody knows they had it coming.
There's more to it than that. I read all about that day, so I know for a fact that it went down very differently. First of all, it was high noon. A posse of U.S. deputy marshals were on the rooftop across the street.
Get ready, boys. They're gonna make a move.
The lawmen had been tracking the Daltons for months, and now they finally had them dead to rights. But those boys had a reputation as stone-cold killers, so the marshals took every precaution, knowing they wouldn't go easy. Among them was a bounty hunter feared by many a lawbreaker. This man had no intention of letting the Daltons slip away. The marshals tried to get the Daltons to surrender.
They'll give up eventually. You just gotta wait till something bitches out.
This bounty hunter knew that the brothers were far too proud to ever lay down their guns. He went in there alone to confront those criminals. One of the marshals shouted, "Where are you going? Are you crazy?"
Hey, where do you think you're going, dumbass? That rifle's mine.
But he paid him no mind. He saw a way to get around to the back of the bank. Then he figured out how to hit the Daltons from a direction they weren't expecting. From above. Fortunately, a water tower was right there. A moment later, he was climbing up a steep ladder, laughing at danger as he did. Brave men like him who risked their lives to tame this wild country.
We've got company.
Heroic men like him who did what other men couldn't or wouldn't to make this country free. Like Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett, who died defending the Alamo.
Son of a bitch!
24.
Guy's a psycho!
Да.
Over there!
That's Silas Greaves.
What the hell?
Blam! Blam! He came away victorious, taking down those thieving Daltons.
Своих сразу.
His name was Silas Greaves, and when the dust finally settled, he was the last man standing.
Sorry, kid, but that just wasn't the way it happened.
Не было. Так, третий вариант играем. Первый, второй, третий.
It was early evening, not high noon.
Сколько как это не
I was late to the party and Coffeyville was already up in arms. The Daltons blew up a safe and were all set to hightail it out of there. Those pathetic deputies surrounding the bank were dropping like flies. I had been tracking those jokers for months, waiting for them to do something reckless. Finally, they did. Those stupid bastards decided to rob 2 banks at the same time in the same town where everybody knew them. But they still had friends with coffee.
Выходи.
Can you shoot around corners? He has it coming.
There's trouble.
Ain't bothered me none.
Вкусно. Да, нормальное мясо, блин. Ну что некоторые не жевать. Не хотят жевать. Не, спасибо. Так, подожди. Ага, ясно. Ладно, бежали. Тут со светом нашел. Можно не спалить ничего не делал. Так я реально близко к направлению. Чуть-чуть убирать цветок и совершенно носки.
And those friends came after me like a pack of wild dogs, tooth and nail. They were coming at me from all directions. I caught sight of the Daltons running with the money and didn't want to lose them. Problem was, they knew the town better than I did. And to top it off, I found myself in the middle of another shootout entirely.
Did the Daltons pull up in somebody's house?
No, it was the Smiths, I believe. They were cousins of the Daltons. And they were shooting at the Browns, who were shooting at the Daltons. Which wasn't any surprise, because those two families have been feuding forever. And since the Joneses are related to the Browns, they shot at the Smiths. Pissing off the Hamhoffers, whose daughter recently married the Smith. Well, bullets were flying every which way as all the old feuds and castles caught fire all at once. There was a hell of a lot of pissed off people in Coffeeville that day. But that's just the way life is sometimes.
Нету. Никого. Да, уже. Мы уже не. Не говорит, ладно. А их вижу, конечно. Вообще думаю, что не нас, ладно. Ну, куда? Да. Может, тут... Здесь был... Нет, здесь я застрял. Да. Не тут уже не конечно. Ладно. А, вот дверь, вот. А, вот она.
The Dalton boys knew I would never give up. Those Daltons weren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, but they always stood together. They set a trap to slow me down and allow at least two of them to escape. The third brother stayed behind to plant me, just in case that trap of theirs didn't work.
колючую сразу. Чай? Не. Что-то не пойму, куда это не знаю. Конечно, сюда. А вот он. Ага. Понятно.
It was Emmett, the youngest, and he decided to stand his ground and face me down.
I ain't afraid of you, Silas Greaves. This is where it ends for you.
He was determined to protect his brothers. I understood how he felt. Taking me on all by his lonesome wasn't exactly a recipe for a long life.
But Emmett Dalton survived the robbery in Coffeyville. He's the only Dalton who did.
They say he was shot 23 times.
Well, Dwight, who do you think put all those damn holes in him? But I have to admit, that boy had grit.
Так, ну понятно. Сегодня наш стрим. Всем марта. Всем спасибо, кто смотрел, себе поддерживал. На следующей зиме уже начнем с следующими братьями охотиться и путиться. Да. Как видите, по стокам мы почти на болоте. Вот, так что и мы знаем, что на самом деле случилось с нашими героем. До следующей серии. Ладно, спасибо, что смотрел.
It took me a couple of days to track the Daltons down.
Всем удачи, да, и всем, да, пока-пока. Увидимся на следующем